It's miraculous when it works, and it's completely screwed when it doesn't.
Exactly. So, my first question for you is, how did you find astrology? Or, better yet, how did astrology find you?
Who's your audience?
Who's my audience?
What version do you want? No, I was 17 and I hitchhiked out to California, and I lived next door to an astrologer, and he just invited me over one day and did, you know, I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and he pulled out my chart and just blew my mind.
Wow.
Told me about my parents, my girlfriend, my health, my job, my future, my past. I mean, it was just like, this is amazing.
Wow. Did he tell you were going to become an astrologer?
You know. No, he didn't. He didn't. But just about everything else.
Right on.
Yeah. So.
Okay, how can astrology usher in the new age?
Well, you know, astrology is like keeping track of the cycles of change, the cycles of evolution. So the idea is that the more you understand all of the different cycles that are constantly interweaving, it's like a Swiss watch. You've got all these gears,
right.
Pluto, and precession of the equinoxes, and Uranus, and so you're looking at all these different cycles, and it gives you this sense of what's of what is behind and what is ahead. And so it opens up, and I mean, my feeling is the whole evolutionary process for humanity is basically becoming more conscious of the unconscious. Mm-hmm. And as we, the astrology gives us a picture of our unconscious. So as individuals become more awakened and aware of their unconscious dynamics,
right,
this brings about the change. This brings about the revolution, which has been kind of to suppress that unconscious and control the masses, by that. So it's like, it's very empowering. I completely use astrology to empower people because they become aware of their power.
Right.
It's not a cause and effect. The stars don't do anything to us. This whole thing of planetary, the influence, Mars made me do it. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
I'm totally into the Jungian synchronicity.
Me too.
It's all the mirrors,
yeah,
and it's reflection.
Yeah.
So it's just that is reflecting what's going on in here, and I'm reflecting what's going on out there. It's not Newtonian.
Right.
It's quantum.
Okay, you mentioned the other night the Year of Purification 2016. Now, I wonder, what do you see leading up to that? Because at the point we're at right now in the world, things seem to be coming to a definite head, and the world powers and whatnot are definitely gearing up for something big, and people are waking up in vast numbers now. So it looks like a huge collision is on its way of some kind. Do you see that cracking open the age of purification, or the year of purification you talked about in 2016, and what will that kind of look like?
I think we've really been these past few years with Saturn and Scorpio, it has been about power. And that power has both a positive and a negative charge, or, power is just power. It's what you do with that power,
Yeah.
And so, people have been becoming more individual, it's like they get more aware of their power, and they're not wanting to buckle or bend or bow down, anymore. This is part of Pluto in Capricorn too. It's a longer term, transition. So, yeah, I do see it coming to a head. I see it coming to this, this point where it's really necessary, to clarify just, who is determining my future, the future. And it's this whole move towards more sovereignty, autonomousness, where individuals make their own choices and determine their own futures. And that's not popular with the patriarchy.
Yeah.
But that's the whole fall of the patriarchy. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
And in terms of purification, what that has to do with you know, is this whole time of, how can I say, you know, I don't like karma so much, but you know, Virgo has to do with purge and purify and correct and you know, realign, like get back on track. And so, you know, for those that are farther off track or resisting you know, the flow you know, of the collective, they need more of an adjustment, more of a realignment, and that can be more crisis. You know? And Virgo is the sign of crisis. It's crisis consciousness. And crisis brings to a head, it brings to a point your priorities, your values. And this is what's really important now, is for people to be, you know, really getting in touch with deeper values.
Great. Okay, final question. As a Leo, how have you come into your kingly role, and how do you see your personal effect on the world for making change?
Well, you know, in shamanic astrology, it was I just got it. It was a message that really hit home to me. I'm Leo rising. So learning how to be Leo, even though my sun is already there, I still feel like I'm learning how to do that. And that is just show up.
I like that.
Trusting that I am, or I have, or I will get, or you know, something will come, you know, that if I just show up, you know, it's going to be okay. And this is kind of like, and so it's just like, you know, giving me, you know, more and more, you know, of the, you know, of fun and play, of just like, you know, whatever, I'm just going to show up and see what happens, you know, and it's going to be all right, you know. It really puts to rest, you know, a lot of the fear, you know, that I otherwise, I mean, growing up, I was super insecure and very fearful, and you know, I feel like I've kind of, you know, come out of that a little more with that Leo, you know.
Sweet. All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. You're a beautiful soul.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.